Welcome to the first episode of You Can't Deny AI. I'm Hina.
And I'm Shaylee. Today we're diving into the ethics of data privacy with AI in modern medicine. First, we're going to dive into what we call the big paradox of modern medicine. It is the ultimate double-edged sword of artificial intelligence in healthcare.
Right. On one hand, we want AI to be able to predict everything that we need. We want it to spot rare cancers, predict heart attacks, and analyze medical scans with superhuman accuracy. But here's the catch. A medical student can't learn without studying actual patient cases. AI needs massive amounts of data to spot those patterns.
Exactly. And the data isn't just a bunch of random numbers. It is highly sensitive, deeply personal medical history. It's protected by heavy-hitting laws like HIPAA in the US or GDPR in Europe. But here's the paradox. How do we build life-saving algorithms using patient data while simultaneously keeping the very same data under lock and key?
Exactly. But Shaylee, whenever I hear tech companies talk about this, they always use the word anonymization. They say, it's okay, we stripped out your name and social security number. It's de identified. Problem solved, right?
While they may get rid of our name and our social security number, it isn't that simple. According to recent research, like a 2024 study by Weiner and colleagues, de identification is rapidly becoming a myth. Advanced machine learning tools are incredibly good at cross referencing multiple data sets through a process called data triangulation. AI can easily match supposedly anonymous medical files with public online footprints to re identify patients.
That is terrifying. It's like a digital puzzle where the AI finds the missing pieces to figure out exactly who you are. And let's be honest, when we signed those massive 50-page consent forms at the doctor's office just for treatment, none of us realized our data might be packaged, sold, and used as secondary data to train a commercial AI model.
It's a massive trust deficit. If patients feel like their most intimate health struggles are going to be leaked and sold to the highest bidder, they'll stop trusting their doctors. And when trust breaks down, healthcare breaks down.
So is AI actually HIPAA compliant, or is the law just asleep at the wheel?
The short answer is yes. AI can be HIPAA compliant, but only under very strict, specific conditions. The AI platform must have appropriate technical, administrative, and contractual safeguards. If a developer is processing protected health information, or PHI, they have to meet strict HIPAA privacy and security rules.
Can be is the keyword there. What happens when they aren't?
That's where the legal cracks start showing. HIPAA is a great federal shield, but it has massive blind spots when it comes to modern tech. HIPAA only regulates covered entities, like hospitals, doctors, and their direct business associates. If a hospital discloses your PHI to a tech vendor or an AI chatbot that isn't officially contracted as a business associate, that data can actually slip outside of HIPAA's regulatory net.
Wait, so if I type my symptoms into a public free AI chatbot or use a health app I downloaded on my phone, HIPAA doesn't protect me.
Nope. Health information you give to non-medical entities like wearable fitness trackers, unregulated health apps, wellness websites, or consumer-grade AI tools like ChatGPT or Claude is generally not covered by HIPAA. These companies can legally package and sell your anonymized data to marketers and third parties. And unless you're paying for a high-end enterprise tier AI service with strict data handling guarantees, public chatbots use your chat history by default to train their future models. Your private health query becomes their training data.
Wow, that actually went to court recently, didn't it? The Dinerstein versus Google case?
Yes, it did. So, in that case, the University of Chicago delivered several years of anonymized patient records to Google to train its algorithms. A patient named Dinerstein sued on behalf of himself and other patients, claiming that the university breaches promise of patient confidentiality and consumer protection laws.
And the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals actually dismissed the case. In federal court, a plaintiff has to prove if they suffered a concrete, actual, or imminent injury in fact. The court ruled that just sharing anonymized data for research didn't constitute a specific concrete injury. It just shows how difficult it is to fight these data sharing agreements under our current legal framework. So let's look at this from another angle, the doctor's office itself. Imagine you're a patient diagnosed with stage 1 non-small cell lung cancer. Your doctor recommends surgery and heavy chemotherapy, and you go through with it. But later you find out that standard medical guidelines actually advise against chemotherapy for your specific case. Why did the doctor recommend it? Because a highly advanced AI system analyzed your scans and recommended an aggressive treatment.
And the physician never mentioned that AI was involved in the decision.
Exactly. You'd feel incredibly distressed, right? Like you underwent a toxic, painful treatment because your doctor outsourced their thinking to a machine without telling you. This is a massive crisis for the legal concept of informed consent.
It really tests the law. In the US, doctors are legally required to disclose all material facts to a patient. But what happens if the physician relies on a black box AI algorithm? Meaning it's an AI so complex that even the doctors don't fully understand how it reaches conclusion. How can a doctor give you the risks and benefits of an AI's decision if you can't explain the AI's math?
It's like the AI is acting as the doctor, but escaping the doctor's ethical duty to explain the treatment. It completely muddies the waters of being accountable. Let's talk about genetic data, because this is where the money is. Literally, direct to consumer DNA kits. Think of companies like 23andMe. Millions of people have spat into a tube to find out their ancestry. But these companies aren't governed by strict hospital privacy laws.
Right. While they may not promise to not sell your individual raw DNA without consent, they frequently aggregate anonymized genetic data and sell access to pharmaceutical giants for medical research. And there's a massive catch: corporate buyouts. If a DNA company goes bankrupt or gets acquired, your genetic data is legally classified as a business asset that can be sold off to acquiring corporations.
We saw this play out in real time with 23andMe. Even when the company was buried in class action lawsuits and facing financial trouble, its asset valuation held strong at over $300 million. Why? Because large scale genetic databases are an absolute goldmine for healthcare AI models.
It's the ultimate training fuel. Human researchers can't easily find microscopic correlations across millions of DNA strands, but AI excels at it. Pharmaceutical companies feed this massive genomic data into AI models to map disease structures at lightning speed. It's revolutionizing AI drug discovery, helping predict how specific genetic variations will react to experimental medications. It's saving lives, but it's built on a foundation of traded personal blueprints.
So, how can we protect our information with all of these issues?
Well, to protect your personal data, always review an AI's tool privacy settings to turn off data sharing for model training and use aliases instead of real names or sensitive information. Additionally, you can always opt out for services that have explicit opt in data policies and clear options to delete your chat history.
So, why does all of this matter? Because medicine relies entirely on trust. We worry that their most vulnerable secrets, our most vulnerable secrets, addiction struggles, mental health diagnosis, genetic markers, they might be leaked or sold or used against us by insurance companies. And our fear is completely valid because the real harm would come from lying to our doctors or avoiding digital health portals altogether.
Exactly. When trust breaks down, patient care breaks down, and no algorithm, no matter how advanced, can fix that. But that's why understanding AI and how it handles our information is so important. No algorithm can replace a trusted doctor patient relationship. AI is a tool, and by understanding how it handles our information, we can make sure we are using the technology rather than letting the technology use us.
Well said. That's all for today's episode of You Can't Deny AI. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll catch you next time.